Hi, long time no see. I haven't made a tutorial in quite some time. I haven't made a video in quite some time. So I thought I'd get back into it with a little easy holiday present project. This is the project that I think may have sparked my absolute love for knitting. Fashion-wise, I love a beanie, a knit hat, a toque if you're from Canada. And they're just so easy to make as well, but let's make one together. And let's make it holiday themed. I am using size 9 round knitting needles. I'm using medium weight yarn. I also use stitch markers, and eventually I will also use a darning needle and a new little tool that I have in my arsenal to help me make the pom-pom. So for this project, you're gonna wanna cast on 60 stitches. 60 stitches is gonna be for a child, baby, toddler size hat. If you wanna make it bigger, I would say increase it by 4 stitches at a time. So if I was making this for myself, I would do like 72 or 76 stitches, and the rest of the steps go off of that numeral of 4. So I'm using 60 stitches, cast on in your preferred method. I like the long tail cast on. It allows for a little bit of a stretchy edge, which is good when you have to put something over your head. Once you've gotten everything casted on, you can now knit 2, purl 2. Remember that your first round is always going to be the hardest. It's usually tight, there's no elasticity yet. Just keep with it, and the next round will be easier. So we're going to keep knitting this 2x2 rib for 1 to 4 inches. I'm going to stop at the 1 inch mark because that's what I want for this project. However, if I were to fold over the edge, like in this other project I've done with the exact same pattern, I like to knit for about 4 inches. That way you have that fold up. But we aren't doing that today because we're changing colors. I don't like to do the fold over when changing colors, because as you wear it, the fold can kind of shift and you can kind of see that line and it's not as crisp. Now that your 2x2 rib is done, we're going to change colors. So we're done with the white for now. We're going to pull in the red yarn. We're going to knit 1 round in the red. Then on our next round, we're going to knit 1, purl 1 for a 1x1 rib for the rest of the project. As we continue working through the 1x1 rib in the red yarn, let me explain why we did that 1 round of knit to start off this color change. Doing that gives a clean line and a clean break between the 2 different colors. If we went right into the rib with the second color, you would see kind of a zigzag almost, like a bump. It would look like the reverse side. I don't want it to look like you accidentally have the hat on inside out. It's not the look I'm going for today. So I chose to do the 1 round of knit to have the clean line. So this is the part of the project that I like to watch a show or listen to a podcast, since you're doing the same thing over and over and over again for a while. What are your favorite shows at the moment, or podcasts? I need to broaden my horizons. There's only so many times a girl can rewatch Gilmore Girls or Love Island. They do make a lot of episodes of Love Island though, so there's always new content. Now we're gonna prep for the decrease rows. You can do this ahead of time at the beginning of the project if you really want to, but I don't like to deal with more stitch markers than necessary. So because we did 60 stitches for this project, I'm gonna split it into 4. So you're gonna put 1 stitch marker every 15 stitches. 60 divided by 4, 15, 4 equal sections. If you did more stitches, adjust that for the amount of stitches that you have. So if you did 68 stitches at the beginning, you're going to put a stitch marker every 17 stitches. Now it's not necessary to put the stitch markers in, so if you don't have any and you're just using like something for the beginning, that's totally fine. I prefer to use stitch markers because I don't like keeping count during the projects. I tend to forget where I am and go in autopilot and I'll move right past it. So I like having that tangible thing that makes me stop and think, where am I in this pattern? So each round we're going to decrease by 8 stitches. We're going to do 1 on either side of the stitch marker. After the stitch marker, you're going to do a knit 2 together. Before a stitch marker, you're going to do a slip, slip, knit. This way they kind of taper towards each other and it just gives a nice shape to the top of the hat. I think this is a great project to learn both of those decreases so you can see which way they go. I had a previous tutorial on how to make a knit beret, and that only used knit two together and it gave like a spiral effect to it. And that one's a really good way to see if you're doing the same stitch decrease, everything will go in the same direction. This one, you're having them go in opposite directions. After your first decrease round, you're going to do a normal non-decrease round. You're going to continue the rib for the next round. You're going to repeat this 4 more times for adult size hats, 2 more times for a child size hat. Since I'm doing a child size hat, I'm only decreasing 2 more times. To finish, we're going to weave in the loose end of this yarn into the active stitches that are still on your needles. You don't need to have a darning needle to do this. It makes it way easier, but if you are traveling and you don't want to bring a little needle with you, or you can't bring a little needle with you, you can just kind of use your knitting needle to help you get it through there. And now it's my favorite part. We cinch. This is where you can really see that this is now a hat and not just a tube. And in theory, you don't need to do the decreases rows. You could just cinch it like this, but those decrease rows really kind of help to build the shape of the project. And it's a great kind of skill to practice and learn. Now we add a pom-pom because we have to. You always add a pom-pom. I'm using this pom-pom maker, which helps make a more even pom-pom. You can just wrap the yarn around your fingers to get the same effect and tie it in the middle and cut from there. But this one just kind of helps make a consistent size across multiple projects. You want to fluff it up, cut it out, even it out. Finally, we're going to add it to the top of the hat and you're done. Secure it in there and you've got yourself an adorable little hat. And this one just happens to be a Santa hat. We love to see it. And there you have it. You have your basic knit beanie with a pom-pom. This project can be done in a day. I knit this child-sized Santa hat in maybe about 4 hours. Again, the bigger the hat, the more work there is, the longer it will take. But I've never spent more than a day really making a hat. And honestly, if you're a novice, you're still learning, this project still looks really good even if you've made a little mistake in there. Most people aren't scrutinizing your projects that much. You're going to be the one that knows where all the mistakes are. No one else cares. If you're making this for somebody for the holidays or making it for yourself, or you need a project to entertain yourself while you're on the train to go visit friends and family for the holidays, this is an amazing project to take with you. It's small scale, can be completed in one day. And also, like, it's a great gift. Nobody's gonna be mad at a hat. You don't have to really know the size of a person either to know that they have a head that they can put a hat on. Like I said, these little hats were the thing that really got me into knitting, I think. They're just easy to make, and a lot of hospitals will take newborn size hats as donations. So if you just wanna keep your hands busy, try the 60 stitch start variation, and there you go. You look so cute. It's a great project to do, great beginner project, great teach yourself how to do it project. I'm gonna go have a lovely warm cup of coffee, and I'm gonna make so many more hats, and I'm gonna give them to everybody I know this holiday. Thank you for watching. If you make something and you tag me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is linked below in the description of this video. Let me see it. I love seeing other people do projects. Okay, love you, bye.